what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy the Billy Embody. What's up, dude? How we doing today? You've been covering, of course, you work for On3. I've been loving my new On3 subscription. Big fan. Billy, y'all do incredible work. You've been covering the Terry Bussey announcement. He ends up choosing A&M. What is the kind of, it was 50-50 going into the day. What is the kind of consensus on the fallout of why A&M got across the finish line?
Yeah, I think for me, it goes back to comfort. This is a guy that one of the best athletes in the country, but he was, kind of pegged to A&M, at least from what I was told in the spring. And obviously, they went through a coaching change, and that opened the door, wider for schools like LSU and in the end Georgia to jump in there and try to change his mind. But I think it came down to comfort. I think he was comfortable in College Station, and he has been around that program for years now. And despite the coaching change, there were still a few people in College Station that he had relationships with that were still retained by Mike Elko. And he knew Mike Elko from a couple years ago when he was with the Aggies, and they kind of recruited him a little bit. Hallman Wiggins, who came on A&M staff as well, had a relationship with Terry Bussey. But LSU did a really nice job trying to change his mind. Frank Wilson, Sherman Wilson, Brian Kelly, and then Corey Raymond and Blake Baker coming in late, laid out a really nice plan for him on development and just overall how he would be used all over the secondary. But ultimately, it just wasn't enough. This is a pretty low-key prospect who was pegged to A&M from the beginning. He gave them, an early silent commitment. He ended up pushing back his decision from the kind of back half of summer to the end of September, and it was still A&M even after Alabama and LSU visits. So I think in the end, he just wanted to be at Texas A&M, and that's sometimes tough to overcome. But LSU is getting a 5-star in the boat officially with Dominic McKinley later this morning.
There you go. So McKinley, is that letter's in now?
He does sign at 10:45.
Okay.
Yep, signs at 10:45. So the letter might be in. I'm not sure, but he is going to sign with the Tigers, which is a huge deal and a massive position of need there to get him on board.
Yeah. I mean, interior defensive line is really the one concern that I have about this LSU roster, and I don't know how they're going to look to fill it come springtime. I guess I'll just ask you that, Billy. I mean, are they going to try to catch just because they just need bodies? Like, forget about trying to get like a great player out of the portal or like starters or whatever. Like, you just need bodies right now to give Bo Davis to coach. Do you think in that second portal period after spring ball, do you think you see some D linemen find their way to Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I think so. And it's just the wild kind of times of having, unfortunately, to be in that spot where you have to take somebody in the spring. But I do think there will be some options that enter in the spring and some ones that are solid enough that can provide depth and competition and talent to help. So we'll be tracking that. But they are also on a junior college defensive lineman, Jalil Muhammad, who has some big offers out there. He's been on Bo Davis's radar. He picked up an offer last month. He's got some work to do academically to be somebody that they can bring in, or just about any school can bring in at this point. But he has all semester to work on that, which is good for him. And so it wouldn't be a surprise if we saw, once the dead period ended, if he popped up on campus for a visit and kind of was able to start his recruitment up. And he's a big body that they're looking at as well. So there's still a couple, there's still a junior college option. There's going to be the portal later this spring that they can go after some depth and some competition there to shore up that room for sure.
Billy, I love what you wrote earlier. We quoted on the show, but kind of about the interplay between Sherman Wilson, Frank Wilson, Raymond Baker, kind of referenced it there, Brian Kelly, and how strong of a pitch they've been creating in the short time together and how aligned it sort of feels right now. When you look at the class that LSU has now turned in for 24, I'm biased, but I think it's objectively a very good class. Like we've talked about plenty on the show. I think it's a great foundation to build a championship team off, whatever. what is the, like, if you talk to recruiting experts across the country, how does this class fall in relation to maybe what the expectations were or are for Brian Kelly recruiting?
Now, this class was a really, really good class. I mean, this is a number 4-3 class for On3 right now, and so it's back-to-back top 5 classes for LSU. In a down year in Louisiana, I'll add. I mean, they got some nice pieces from Louisiana, don't get me wrong, but overall, kind of top to bottom, a little bit down. But they were able to still flip Dominic McKinley, flip Gabe Relaford, and those guys are key positions of need there. They flipped Weston Davis on the offensive line, another 5-star. So they were able to really finish well. That's something that has impressed me. I mean, Terry Bussey, he ends up sticking with A&M. That kind of pretty much expected by us when he didn't, give LSU the good word before going up there. But overall, this is a really strong finish. I think you're seeing the momentum build in 2025 for them with the number 1 class as well.
So great work on the recruiting trail, which again was one of the major questions entering the Brian Kelly era. Again, I can't recommend the work enough of Billy Embody and the rest of the team over there at On3. Really enjoy it. You should go check it out. Billy, any sign-up specials or anything to push while we got you?
Yeah, $1 for your first month. So come check
go.
us out. Hang out and see if it's the spot for you. It's the news is not going to stop now that signing day is behind us.
No, and what I've learned too is it goes way beyond recruiting. It covers LSU from all facets. If you just want to stay up to date with your Tigers, at Billy Embody on Twitter. Billy, thank you so much, man.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.